talking about 1965.
Yeah.
The quarterdeck bar, which was part of the Chevron Hotel. Upstairs was the Silver Spade Room, but the quarterdeck bar downstairs was a gay bar.
Okay. So that's in Clay Street in the Cross.
Macleay Street, that's correct. And I think it used to close early in those days. It used to close at 10 o'clock or earlier.
So what are we talking? 64, did you say?
Yeah, 64, 65.
Okay.
People used to congregate afterwards, after the bar closed, and they'd wait for people to say there's a party on somewhere. And then everyone would get cabs and go to a party.
Okay. So what was the vibe there? What was going on?
It was just drinking.
Just wall-to-wall guys drinking?
Drinking, yeah. And probably... Yes.
Yeah, it's a gay bar.
Yeah, it was gay. And it was really not like a gay bar as you find today. There were barmaids there, the real old barmaids, like knew everyone. I forget the barmaid's name. I used to remember her. She was kind of listened to everyone. She was like a...
Okay. So was it one of the first real gay bars in Sydney, or?
Well, probably the most popular for that time.
Yeah.
I can remember one at the Rex, but I never ever went there.
That was a bottoms up bar?
Yeah, that came later.
So there was an earlier bar at the Rex?
I think so. I think there was a kind of like a bar where it was kind of a bit mixed.
Can you remember what it was called?
No, I can't. I think it was just the Rex.
Okay.
It was kind of a back bar. I'm not sure.
So describe like Gay King's Cross in the early 60s. Where else was there?
People used to go to coffee shops.
Yeah.
There was one in Rosalind Street, just up from the Gigolo, was it?
Yeah.
Just a couple of doors up. I can't remember the name of it, it'll come to me. But there was one very popular called the Gigolo, which was on Bayswater Road, opposite where the All Nations Club used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And that was very popular. That was crowded. A lot of people would go there after the bars, and they'd meet, and that's where people would meet and pick up people.
Okay.
Yeah. And also after that, a lot of people in those days used to go to Boomerang Street.
Okay.
Boomerang Street was a street before they put the aquatic centre in around St Mary's Cathedral.
Yeah.
And it was a cruising street, so that's the place where guys would go and meet other guys.
Okay.
So they'd cruise around in their cars and meet people down there.
Okay.
I never went there, but that's where a lot of people would go.
Okay.
And of course the police would come after you, and then they'd be able to take refuge in St Mary's Cathedral.
Now you were saying the Chalice Avenue, there was a place there as well.
Yes, I think that was called Vadim's.
Vadim's.
Yeah, that was a kind of bohemian place where you could always go there very late at night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and the woman, I think she was Hungarian, you could order red wine and she'd serve it to you in a teacup. So if the police called in, you're drinking out of a teacup.
Because there was no like liquor licenses or anything like that.
No. Well,
and was it wild or demure? Or like the gay scene?
Not wild. I wouldn't say it was wild. Okay. It was pretty demure, pretty closeted in a way.
Yeah, okay.
Not like it is now.
Okay. Not like it was in the 70s and 80s.
No, the late 60s it started, and then the 70s it really blossomed.
Okay.
And then it kind of died down.
Did Dawn O'Donnell have any clubs in the Cross?
No, not in the Cross again. Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
No, not to my knowledge. She started out in Broadway at the trolley car bar it was.
Okay.
And they used to call it the trollop bar.
It was like a dyke place.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how she started. And that's when she went on to Oxford Street. Started Capriccios and all those bars started spring up. And that's when I left town.
Did you go to the taxi club much? Was that happening in the 60s?
Taxi club, I think it was.
Yeah, the top of Darlinghurst Road there, in Taylor Square?
I never went there very much. I went there twice, I think, in my life.
Okay. So, but the big gay bar in the early 60s in the Cross...
was the quarterdeck bar.
Was the quarterdeck bar.
In the Chevron.
Yeah, there was lots of sailors and stuff there. They used to say, come up the hill.
Yeah, sailors used to go in there. A lot of people sailors, even in their uniform in those days.
Yeah.
Cool. You don't have to get a guy down there with a camera.
Okay. So what was the layout like? It was the downstairs bar at the Chevron.
Like, you had steps going down, and where Woolies is, it must have been where Woolworths
is now.
Underground.
Yeah.
There, you were kind of down under.
And what was the decor like?
Very modern 60s.
Okay, so sort of groovy.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Silver Spade was much more upmarket and ritzy.
Yeah, well, this was kind of a big Oh, it was a big bar, like it was tiled and not like the old pub bars.
Yeah.
It was tiled modern 60s era.
Okay.
Which today would probably be quite fashionable.
Yeah. Like full of Parker furniture and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Cool.